Be real.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Yeah, let's just be honest.
Let's just be real.
For somebody as good as he is, Junhui can be surprisingly inconsistent, but it hasn't stopped him coming here as number 2 in the world rankings. He's won 13 world ranking titles.
Just give me 1 sec.
And his opponent, Anthony Hamilton, comes here courtesy
No wet and dry.
of winning
No wet and dry.
last season's German Masters.
They'll bring him out.
It took
bring
him
him out.
26
If you
years
want to start, they'll bring him
to
out.
win his first ranking title, and a very popular success it was.
Thank you. The first frame, Anthony Hamilton to break.
Not the way to start any match. Whatever you do, don't hit the blue with your break-off shot.
Thank you.
Keep that one obviously away
One.
from the rest. Because he had a bit of an angle on it. He could have struggled to hold. I think we know what a great player he is, and you're right, he can be a little inconsistent, but he's a prolific tournament winner. But this event
8.
so far has passed him by.
Nine.
A few weeks ago, Ding won the World Open in Yushan. Leads left-hander Oliver Lines in China's
16.
International Championship.
Seventeen.
Well, he went to such efforts to miss that bottom red. I wonder why he didn't end up just playing on it down the cushion.
24.
Players are reluctant to do so, but I would always back them to knock a red down the cushion. Instead, he's left himself a difficult one now. As always, hitting near jaw,
Ding
and
Junhui,
staying there.
24.
Disappointing, really. He looked sharp. Unusually, the shot before was a poor one. This was always going to go low, never really anywhere near the pocket.
I think Hamilton will think that he's been let off lightly.
Yes, of course, when you think about someone like Anthony Hamilton, what a good player he's been, but a one-table arena, he wouldn't have played in too many times recently. Probably the last time I can think of would have been when he actually won in the Tempodrome. And generally, there's more than one table in operation in many tournaments now. It can be a little nerve-wracking to be the centre of attention. An extremely popular and likeable man on the tour. Anthony, and a very good break builder.
4.
With his back and neck problems over the years, he's helped keep a few physiotherapists in business, but he reports himself fully fit at the moment.
5.
Now, from that low angle camera, that clearly jumped. There was certainly a jump there when the cue ball hit the red, but it didn't affect the shot very badly.
Hamilton was coached by the late Frank Callan, who I
12.
regard as the father of modern coaching. And whenever I see his cue action, I hear old Frank saying, "Get some movement in your cue."
Yes, Frank was a legendary
13.
figure in the game. Stephen Hendry knows plenty about him. He helped his game for quite some time as well. I was lucky enough to get some assistance from Frank, and you're right, this cue action is everything that Callan wanted from a player. Be interested to see how this table plays, because I was watching the event that Mark Selby has just won
20.
in China, the international. Now, I think the tables look to be playing very nicely and quite easy. Not one that these people that goes around saying the pockets are big these days, but I just felt it was an easy table to play on.
$21.
This time last year, Hamilton was wondering where his next entry fee was coming from, and he got to the quarterfinals of the English Open, the semi-finals,
Blue ball.
the Northern Ireland Open, and then won the German Masters. Hasn't done much this season, but he's still 26th in the world rankings.
26. $27. $34.
Well, there you see
35.
the red that I mentioned earlier on that I thought Ding could have played on, which he avoided and got out of position a little. I don't think if you're on the shots perfectly, there's any reason you should miss down the cushion.
That's gone slightly wrong.
$42.
The flick off the red has left him a very awkward shot, if he's got one at all.
Yes, it was difficult to see how that could go wrong, and that was probably the only way. It's a little unlucky there. I guess if it was Ding or Ronnie O'Sullivan, they might have not thought they were unlucky. Maybe he felt the cannon wasn't perfectly executed.
Well, he wanted to play the cannon in such a way as to leave a straightish red to left corner.
Well, he doesn't look to have a very easy safety shot, actually. I mean, I wonder if there's any value in trying to cut the red to the left corner, the one that's below where we are now, the one that's directly above the black. It seems that might be the only way you can go with this. Options are thin on the ground. It is the kind of shot, if he does go for it, he might leave it near the pocket, but it's an opportunity to keep the break alive. Very well played indeed. And he deserved that little
43.
nudge on the blue, which keeps the break going. It's a good recovery.
I think he was intending as a saver to get the cue ball somewhere behind the yellow if the red didn't go in, but the cannon on the blue turned out perfectly.
Well, this time, again, I think
46.
we can say it's end of break.
Anthony Hamilton, 46.
Well, he looks in fairly good nick after that. I know it was only 46, but he should take some confidence from the way he looks to be striking the ball. Has left something for Ding to go at, though.
Mark.
Well, ended up fortunate not to leave the red that he attempted.
Thanks.
Just the towels that the players like were not put out on the table for some reason. Both players have got them now. Use those to wipe the cue down and keep everything smooth. Get sweaty palms out there when you're playing snooker. There's a wet and a dry one. Well, again, signs that he's cueing nicely. Might not be a very favourable kiss, though. If he wants to be adventurous, he might play the brown to the middle, but he's got the tickle in behind the yellow available to him. Problem is, the reds are wide apart, one on each cushion up the table. So you have to play it perfectly to cover them all.
Yes, he's a bit unlucky not to be on the blue there.
Green ball.
Yes, he doesn't mind if the green had gone safe, but unfortunately that's
Anthony
not worked
Hamilton.
out. Small lead, always handy to get a colour safe, but he's not managed it.
Intended, of course, to leave the green under the side cushion.
Anthony might feel that he can go for this long red with the insurance of other reds being safe. He has knocked in a couple of these already. But you never know where the red's going to go that you miss. Could have finished worse. Yeah, I thought he looked like he'd made a mistake there. Yeah. Anthony's shot was a bit negative. Just pushing that red to where he left it. He's actually lost the advantage now. He is a very fine break build. He can get a little bogged down in matches. I've noticed that in his career. He's much better, I think, when he's attacking. He's a very good scorer.
Yeah, Hamilton is not exactly a household name, but he's made 273 centuries in his long career. That's an average of more than 10 a season, and some of those seasons there weren't many tournaments to play in.
Well, surely that's gone very wrong. Don't know what he played. Really not sure what he played, but it definitely wasn't that.
One.
Well, he's finished absolutely dead straight on this, which really does hamper him and gives him few options. Certainly on the black. That's why he's playing the pink. Well, Anthony's shot was
7.
a weak one. He played 2 shots in a row. I'm not sure what he played. I can't believe it was anything remotely like that.
Thank you. 8.
May have enough angle to disturb the red near the middle pocket.
Yeah, you wonder what sort of pace he would play at that, Clive, to push it over the middle or further down the table. That's the problem, isn't it? It's easy to push it beyond the pocket. Could have played
10.
it even firmer, perhaps, and knocked it into the middle of the table.
Quite a few shots in this opening frame, requiring a lot of thought.
Junhui 10.
Not very attractive alternatives for Hamilton. Got to be careful of the double kiss here.
Yes, good call, Clive. It's exactly what happened. It certainly kissed it again on the way through, but he's been lucky.
Ding on top in this tactical duel at the moment.
Yes, now that both reds are net out in the open, even more so.
That was a very good response from Hamilton, well thought out. Green and brown covering the one danger red, and he's put the one he played under the side cushion.
Well, he had no choice there, but he's probably lost the advantage a little. Anthony should be able to get Junhui into a bit of bother here. It's not the best of shots. Not at all, in fact. That's an unforced error.
Ding will be disappointed to have missed that red, and even more disappointed to have left it.
I just wonder if he's left an angle for him to play to get the other red out here. It might be a natural push the red into play. That's certainly what he's looking at. Well, I think he's on.
One.
I think I've heard it said before that you should never play a shot like that, never get a red out on a red, but of course every set of circumstances is different. The value was there.
Yes, make the cannon. He was sure to be on the pink. So should clinch the frame at this visit.
7.
Yes, if he takes a black with the red, he won't even need the yellow.
8.
I think he certainly will have needed a good start in this match. He's not been playing all that well. His confidence has not been anywhere near last season when he won in Germany. Need to get an early lead in this match. Get a frame on the board, settle in.
I think it's almost always more important
15.
for the lower ranked player to get a good start. The star player seems to have more resources with which to recover.
Anthony Hamilton, 15.
To go 28 in front, with only 27 remaining. But the frame's not over. It's far from inconceivable that Ding could lay the snooker he needs. That was a good opportunity. I don't know whether he's done quite as well as he wanted to, though.
Yes,
There's an orange flash on your camera when it, thanks.
The balls were in very good positions to get snookers. Certainly where the green is very helpful there. Brown's been put a little more awkwardly now. And even where the remaining balls are, he's got chances. Not there though.
Pretty good shot. The pressure was largely off because his opponent already needed a snooker. But he doesn't want to fail to escape from this self-inflicted snooker. It would, if he did fail, then it would put Ding back to only one snooker.
Hamilton 2.
As it is, he needs 2 4-point snookers. But maybe we'll consider the possibility of 1 5-point snooker to tie.
Thank you. 3. Ding Junhui 3.
That's made it more difficult for Ding to get the snookers he needs. Black on the side cushion.
Yes, we had that amazing frame last year, didn't we, in Preston in the World Grand Prix, where Ryan Day needed 4 snookers in his semi-final against Marco Fu, somehow won the frame. And that's a very rare occurrence. A couple of snookers, not quite so rare.
Oh, wow.
Foul.
3 snookers.
Anthony Hamilton 4. And the first frame.
Ding concedes. So Hamilton leads by a frame to 0.
Yep.
Season, Stephen Hendry has won. Ding Junhui is the other in 2013-14. He's just meditating quietly there while Hamilton takes a comfort break after an opening frame which started in quite lively fashion with Hamilton making a break of 46, but it's actually developed into a tactical slog, with Hamilton eventually leaving
Thank you. The second frame.
needing too many
Ding
snookers.
Junhui to break.
Not much risk with that. The only red he could have left was the one he attempted.
Well, already it's one of those frames where it wouldn't be that easy to get the cue ball up the table. Can get a bout of safety where the cue ball is behind the black. And gradually the reds get pushed further and further up the table. And when a chance ends up coming, it's often a very good one.
Half an hour's play for one frame and a bit. Well, any safety to the baulk cushion is inviting a better safety from the red on the baulk line. And if the cue ball is left on the baulk line or short of it, then there's the other red to middle.
Well, that is a mistake. He left a couple of options here. There is a red that he might be able to play up the table into the top right without leaving anything easy. But he's already looking at what he could stick, whereas if he pots the red and gets on the black perfectly, it's a great chance. It's one of those where he's got to make his mind up whether he goes for it 100%. Or he plays it with safety in mind. A bit of both. He actually hit it really well.
Quite a tricky little cutback though, this.
Eight.
But now Hamilton is right in prime scoring territory.
Nine. Sixteen. Seventy.
This match is only best of 7. Hamilton's already won the first frame.
22.
And if he could exploit this opportunity to the full and win the second, it would certainly put Ding under some pressure.
23.
It certainly would. I mean, obviously, we see a lot more matches over this sort of duration these days. There was a time when a best of 7 would have been quite unusual.
28.
But as you said, when he came to the table, Clive, it is a proper chance as well. Just a little bit worried by the awkward cueing, I think, with the brown there. He can get to it, though.
$29.
He played a little flick. He's okay, still on the red. He might have gone into the brown, I think, and left it
31.
much easier.
Playing the cannon on the brown. And at first, I thought he'd lost position completely, but as it happens, he can get between brown and green to the potting angle. Oh, he'll be so disappointed.
Anthony Hamilton, 31.
It seemed to me, Clive, that once he went up the table on those two other reds, he lost control of the table. He's a much better player around the pink and black spot. He had no real choice, I guess. But he's given an exceptionally good chance back as well here.
It's the only downside when the balls are spread far and wide. If you do miss when you're in, you're immediately vulnerable to a deadly counter-attack.
Eight. Nine. $60. $70. $23. $24.
Well, not the perfect angle on the black. He's just above the angle being straight there. Run it through around two cushions, perhaps. I think he'll be fairly happy with that.
31. Junhui, 31.
Well, big surprise to me, and probably to him.
It was never in, it was always to the bottom jaw.
One.
Well, this is a real gift for Anthony Hamilton. His second chance in the frame.
Actually, the rest shots that were missed on either side were quite similar, albeit at different ends of the table.
Yeah, both were missed too thick as well.
8. Nine.
Well, he's gone too far, but he's got the rescue red. If up the table, he can land in behind. The one close to the top right pocket.
$16.
With the aid of high value colours, Hamilton could win this frame without having to take the red nearest the right side cushion.
Yes, if he can get 20 points with these three reds
17.
and colours, then he's away. It would make a huge difference to him not to need that red on the right cushion, as you say. I think the red up the table is not a simple one to get on.
24.
Just looking at it now, how he's going to go about this.
$25.
Well, if he takes the pink here, which he's likely to do, he could pot a brown with that red up the table, and that would mean Junhui needs a snooker.
Blue ball.
Well, he's playing the more difficult shot on the blue because it offers better position on that red.
Anthony Hamilton. 25.
So the frame swings again, although it's not an easy clear up for Ding.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it's that easy an opening red here, Clive. With the rest, and he can drop it in and play on anything really. With the blue being over the pocket, he hasn't got to worry about position. But these, I've seen these miss before.
Well, you've seen them missed again, Neil.
Yes. Well, he looks a little pensive today, doesn't he? Deep in thought. Knows he probably needs to win this frame now after all the things that have happened in it. And the chances he's got have come his way and then have been missed.
Yes, he's made a few mistakes.
That's given Ding the advantage of getting this red into play. If he makes it a good safety shot, he's well and truly in this frame still. It wouldn't be the most difficult table for either player. The next one who gets a chance could easily clear. Well, it's easier to do that, just push it right hand side onto the red using that side. Lucky the blue was there. It is a very good shot. Someone seemed to know in advance that it was going in behind the brown. It was an early clap. That's the man, he knows. He's ahead of the game.
There used to be a chap from Birmingham called Henry Porter. I used to call him the Demon Applauder. If he saw any shot that took his fancy, he'd be very generous with his applause, even if he was the only one.
Yeah. Got a few in today. We've got a real feast of snooker this week. This group is obviously very competitive, but in my opinion, they get better and better as the week goes on. I know that sent a little message to Mark Selby of congratulations for winning in China yesterday, and he sent one back. So I'm coming back Tuesday, and I'm in Coventry on Wednesday. He'll be a little tired, but no doubt elated.
Very good shot, played in the knowledge that the blue was guarding the baulk pocket. That's good as well.
Quite a big target for Hamilton. He'd probably go 2 cushions left and then over onto the right, just above the blue. You'd expect him to hit this, because as I say, the red he could make contact with. There is actually a gap between them. It's possible to go in between the reds, I think. So it could go wrong.
Were he to hit the reds from the left-hand side of the table, chances are that he would leave everything safe. But if he contacts a red from the right-hand side, he could leave a pot to the other baulk pocket.
Foul on the miss. Junhui 4.
Brendan Moore is the referee.
I think he's a bit worried about what you said about pushing that red anywhere near the left corner. Minor adjustment this time. Coming into a better angle. Well, that's exactly how you said it could happen. And whether Ding will be interested in that red, I don't know. It's not easy to run along the rail. No, from that angle it looks even more difficult actually. I mean, That last shot is an example of players playing percentages. He would have got that red a few times, but he would have probably missed it as many times as he'd got it, and he almost certainly would have lost the frame had he missed it. So the risks were not worth taking.
Foul. Junhui 4.
Anthony, again, he was aware that quite an early stage that was going in off, but I don't know what advantage he can get from this. Clearly no red will pop. Well, they say every frame is different. This is certainly an unusual frame with the blue where it is, causing all the problems now. Well, he's gone for the in behind the pink again. Not successful this time.
Good shot from Hamilton.
It's getting even more twitchy, this frame.
Well, it seems to be heading into one of those situations where the reds are edged ever nearer the blue, and eventually someone knocks the blue in.
It can take a long time for that to happen as well. I think Ding will surely just slide off that left-hand red and leave the cue ball over on the left cushion somewhere. Just put distance between cue ball and object ball. That's all he can do. That's it.
There hasn't been a pot for 10 minutes.
Well, if it was touching ball, it would have been extremely handy for Ding. However, he can still glance off. Surely he can glance off the left-hand red here, can't he? Why wouldn't he do that? I think he just discovered it. Well, it's starting to get more awkward now.
I'm just trying to remember the details of a frame that Alan McManus played in the World Championship qualifying, which went on for an hour and a half. It was similar to this. Do you know anything about it, Neil?
I think it was against Barry Pinches, wasn't it? Of course, he blames Barry. I blame Alan. I'm sure there's two sides to every story. Well, it was a legal shot. The red was hit first. maybe just trying to push this red away from it now. Wow, he's got the snooker. That is, certainly got the snooker on the red that he's next to. Whether he has the other one, it's a very good shot actually. There really wasn't much room in behind that blue to get the cue ball. So it's kind of taken a different mood onto the frame. I still wonder how it's going to be resolved though, because the blue is not potable. If this red is potted at some point, well, he can actually get there. Goodness. So it wasn't quite such a good shot as we thought from Ding.
Well, Hamilton hasn't left the red that he attempted.
No, I wonder if Ding will just try and push this red away from the blue now, playing it cushion first. Just a little sliver of this one sticking out. I think Anthony will be quite pleased the way this match is going, not only because he's in front, but because he's been playing at his kind of tempo. He likes to play tactical stuff. He's happy to get involved in a long tactical struggle. Probably more so than Ding.
Not just a good shot there, though. Needed to be behind black and pink so as not to leave Ding a shot at that red.
Yes, and he's got a shot now. Although, of all this safety, I don't suppose it looks all that easy. 14 minutes since the last ball was potted. Anything's tough. Well, if he plays a snooker here, it could be a pretty nasty one. I can't see any value in taking the pink. Points mean nothing. I would be playing the snooker here. And that's what he's done. That's got to be the right shot, I think, under the circumstances.
Well, either Ding fails to contact the red or he knocks the blue in. A pretty unappetizing prospect.
Well, if he goes two cushions, he tries to hit the cushion first just in front of the red. He obviously won't knock the red in then. But if he plays it one cushion, he might. That's a great shot. It's a very fine shot and well thought out.
Very good. He was in dark trouble there.
You just feel that Anthony could end this stalemate if he wanted to. He could push this red up the table. But he didn't want to all that much. In behind the pink, I think. That's a very, very good shot. Perfectly judged. Some good safety in this duel. It's been a frame for the connoisseur, I think.
Foul. Anthony Hamilton. 5.
In goes the blue.
Free ball.
And a free ball. Because the incoming player can't hit both edges of the ball on.
Well, surely here he's got to knock the green in and play on the pink, hasn't he? And just try and win the frame and not think too much or too deeply about this. Green is a red. You can get the cue ball right down onto the black cushion. Just got to do this. One of these shots, the longer you think about it, more chance you've got of missing it.
Wasn't that easy a pot, mind you? I think Hamilton can get to the potting angle on the red.
Yes, I think just, not a lot of it sticking out. Well, he clearly could because he overcut it. That was a good chance. He's had 2 now in successive shots.
Ding trails by 23.
Oh, this could really be a horrible snooker. I think that's the best of the lot for me, that last one. I mean, very skillfully judged. Everything's got to be right. The way he hits the red and the pace was exceptional. And the problem here for Anthony is pretty obvious, really. The brown's in the way from a lot of the angles you might want to use. Referee Brendan Moore is watching any kind of simultaneous contact between the red and the brown. Well, that would be a foul if they're both at the same time. Watching this like a hawk, this shot. In your local league, you might see someone hit this about 200 miles an hour, so nobody knows which ball was hit first.
And you're relying on the home club referee not to call it.
Absolutely.
Foul and a miss.
It's a miss, it's a free ball, it's everything.
Junhui
But if he can get to the red, he won't be taking any of those. He'll just pop the red as normal.
Thank you.
Well, if he was to win this frame, it's a bit of a steal because he's not really been in it very much since he missed that chance early on 31. It could just get him going.
3.
Of course, he will need the lot, so he's got to pop the black down the cushion at the end of all this. That's pretty well judged. Didn't want to be straight,
5.
particularly. And he is straight. Dead straight. So, with the... unless he can reach this, he's going to have to use a bit of power.
Eight.
And he was helped by the brown being relatively near a baulk pocket.
12.
Yes, we don't quite know what this table is like along the cushion below the black spot. Sometimes they rattle and stay there. Sometimes they just fall in, but we're going to find out pretty soon, I think, because he's got no other choice now that he's missed the cannon.
70.
It's a gamble, wasn't it? I thought he should just play on that, you know. Well, I wonder if he's going to try and screw into the black again.
I think he had no choice
23.
because he couldn't hold for the black along the rail, but he hasn't played the cannon as well as he would like to have done.
Well, he seems to be banking on this table not being easy, because a couple of times he could have just played on the black there. Didn't have to play the cannon at all.
And that's a bit on the short side.
Ding Junhui, 23.
Very interesting selection of shot there for Ding. On the blue, trying to knock the black into play. I'm a little surprised. I think he'd have potted it down the cushion if he was behind it, personally.
This for a 2-0 lead. This for 1-all. I thought Ding would pot that, I really did. Hand on the bed of the table, open pocket. Second chance for Hamilton to lead 2-0. Overcut.
It was always quite good fun when you see a black ball struggle with both players getting shots at it. Not necessarily much fun to be out there playing in a sort of frame like this, mind you. Now he's looked at the cut, it was mighty thin. The cue ball is running all over the shop. If he plays it, could go anywhere.
Third chance for Hamilton, albeit from distance. Third chance for Ding.
Well, Hamilton's had the best chances at the black, though, of the two players, for sure.
Fourth attempt for 2-0.
He's missing all those shots thick, isn't he? And he's not leaving anything easy, even this. I mean, this is not a nice shot. Slightly fancy him to get this, because this is all about the angle. Just a cueing shot, but it's by no means easy. At least the cue ball's putting distance. Should he missed it.
It took him 41 minutes
7 under frame.
and 4 attempts at the final black. But Ding Junhui has won the second frame and levelled the match at 1-all.
This third frame underway after stealing Alan McManus the last frame on the black. Both players taking 4 shots at it, though.
It's been a struggle, isn't it? Both frames, opening frame, cagey stuff. Here's the black. Actually, earlier on in the frame, Ting played probably the best shot of the match. He snookered Anthony and gave himself a chance. But it was, as I say, cagey stuff. Giving Anthony something to think about because they've both been poor. We've got to be honest and say that. Ding has a little condition with his eyes from China a week or two ago. I don't know if it was conjunctivitis or whatever it was, but he still looks like that's affecting him. We'll find out as the match goes on.
A minute and an hour and 10 minutes almost gone in this match as we break for the third frame. Back to Clive and Neil.
Well, maybe one or both these players will loosen up after 2 slow, predominantly tactical frames. So that looks as if it might be the promise of better things. Or more fluent things, anyway.
Can be quite difficult to get those sort of frames out of your mind if you lose them. The fact that Ding didn't lose them will make him feel encouraged.
Eight. Nine. Can you not let any more in now? The frame started,
Yes,
please.
I was going to say
Stay
that
up
there's
there.
actually a couple of spectators walking right across the line of Ding on that shot. Did very well not to be affected by it. He didn't get up either. But something in your eye line like that can affect a player.
$14.
No good. He's not on the red he wanted to be on anyhow. The one by the pink, well, if you can see enough of it, he might be able to pot it, but I don't know if he can. He's usually got such a good control of the cue ball, but that's not been quite there in this match so far. This is 50-50 if this goes. Once again, very tight, too tight.
Junhui 40.
I think that second frame almost a bit of a snapshot of why Anthony Hamilton's been struggling a bit this season. Now he's had a few health issues, he's back and he had pneumonia recently, but you know, he just lacks that little bit of confidence he had last season to finish a frame off. He had lots of chances, not only on the black but earlier in the frame to win it.
Yes, Hamilton's record this season is 1-4, lost 6.
It was quite a good shot anyway, but the little flick on the brown on the way down the table has made this an awkward escape. Now, immediately the first thing you do here is you think, which red can I hit that will leave less problems? Well, the bottom left red, he'd like to tickle up to that one across the table twice. That would be his target red, providing he can get to it, of course. You have to get the rest out of the way very quickly playing this shot. It was not a good shot by any means. Why did he choose to play that red? A very weak safety shot. Half-hearted almost.
Caused, I think, by what you highlighted, Neil, having to get the rest out of the way so quickly. Tried to get behind the green and brown. Always an inviting target for that kind of safety when a couple of colours are relatively close together.
That target of green and brown was a good one. 20 minutes since he last potted a ball, spanning over this frame, and all of that business on the colours in the previous.
Yes, that 20 minutes crucially included 4 shots at the final black of the second frame, which would have given him a 2-0 lead.
I would say 4 shots that you'd fancy him to get just a few more times than he would miss. Not easy, any of them, but very gettable.
It wasn't so much the intrinsic difficulty of the shots, but their significance. Made slightly too thick a contact, and so the speed of the cue ball was deadened by the first part of the corner pocket jaws.
Not at his sharpest yet, is he, Junhui? Well, he's got Terry Griffiths here with him this week, the very well-known former player and coach. He's got all the people, he's got all the right men on the case, isn't he? He's here to win.
And if you're not at your sharpest, you have to rely on your craft more. Maybe he'll play himself in. Well, that was a chance. It was a natural angle round behind the back of the black.
Just get the feeling, I've always thought the way that the format is here at the Champion of Champions is that you've got this best of 7 match. If you can get through it, you know, you've got a best of 11 tonight to really settle down and play your game. Quite a big jump up in frames. But it allows a more relaxed and often very attractive evening match for whoever wins the afternoon games. Pretty good. My point being that sometimes these best of 7 matches can be a little bit nervy, and this is certainly one of those.
The worst that can happen to you is that you walk away with £12,500 as a first round loser. At least you'll take away 17,500 if you win this match.
Oh, that's a great shot there. That's more like it.
One.
Yes, I mean, you talk about the prize money. There are spin-offs from the tournament that any player can win. For instance, the shootout, which we know a bit of controversy. Not everyone believes it should be a ranking event, but when Anthony McGill won it, picked up 32 grand, and he's in this tournament as well.
4.
Played for pink, but didn't judge the cannon as well as he would have liked.
Very out of character, Clive, for him to play a shot like that. It's very thin, this one. Awkward shot. Recovered well, and he's on a red.
$11.
If you can just screw this in beyond the 3 reds down the bottom cushion, stay on the black, he'll be better off. Well, he's played the double kiss, goodness.
12.
Shot that can always go wrong.
Yes, it could have done. On the other hand, a full ball contact would have carried the cue ball above the black.
Junhui.
He misses the cut back, which was not difficult for him.
Well, he played the double kiss, and the red he was trying to hit was not actually tight against the cushion. I think the shot before was not played as well as he could have.
Hamilton's first pot for 25 minutes.
This is the shot that Ding had. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. The red's not tight against the cushion.
8.
And, okay, he's on the black. But the double kiss shot can always go wrong, and it did really. Still thought he'd get the black, however.
Nine.
From that shot, you could see the red will pass the other two.
$16. $17.
Hard to call this a frame-winning chance where the reds are. Certainly 4 of them are very awkwardly placed.
23. $24.
Well, the idea was good. Unfortunately, it's not worked out. He may be able to play the plant,
31.
but it's got to be thought out. It's not a simple one. It's kind of shot. Maybe it looks a touch easier than what it is. The problem is that red near the pocket is not hanging over the pocket.
The first red's got to strike the second red somewhere between half and three-quarter ball.
He's just got to play it, hasn't he? He can't really refuse it. Can't leave the red there.
If he gets it, he leaves easy black, easy red to follow.
Well, yes. I mean, if he gets it, Clive, he really does go a long way to winning the frame.
All right.
In discussion with the referee, Brendan Moore, as to what he's going to do here. I think the slower he plays it, the better his chances of knocking it in. Effectively, it's almost a question of just ignoring the red near the pocket and playing to pot the first one. It's almost dead in line. Played it well, and again, the fact that he played it slowly was the reason that red dropped in.
32, yeah, after the shot. $38. $39.
Cued that one very nicely.
46.
$20 in front. This red shouldn't be any trouble, but the other three, well, might be.
$47.
He's got to play in onto the red by his cue there, I think. This is not an easy rest shot.
54.
knocking them in with the rest. He's 4 from 5, 80%, but I reckon this is as tough as any.
Thank you. Anthony Hamilton, 54.
And has been unlucky enough to leave it. That red might well have run safe, but it hasn't.
One.
He's finished just about nowhere. He has got the pot here. And he's getting down and playing this very quickly. He's a little frustrated, I think. You can sense the frustration that Ding is feeling. He's not really got his rhythm together. He's in behind the green and brown here. That's the aim. It's quite a big target for someone as good as him.
Ding Junhui, 7.
Well played.
Hamilton 21 in front, but snookered. Could conceivably leave Ding a winning chance, a frame winning chance anyway. If he doesn't judge this escape as he would like.
Foul, and a miss.
He's going to go back, and
Ding Junhui, 4.
you can see what he was trying to do, just catch the left side of the red. And I don't suppose he'll mind erring on the side of caution the very first time. It's a difficult shot, though. Makes a minor adjustment. You know, it could be hit the red full ball or something.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just a little touch of left-hand side, which again means it's very skillfully played, this shot. Same again, closer.
Foul, and a miss. Ding Junhui, 4.
Handy points these for Ding. Don't know how you play this, Clive. Do you play it, hit the same place, but put a little bit more left-hand side on it, or do you edge the cue ball further down to the right? That's a difficult one, isn't it? Very awkward shot to judge.
Foul, and a miss.
Well,
Ding Junhui, 4.
if this continues, the next one will just glance it very thin, because you get nearer each shot. The other thing to say is the importance of the balls being correctly replaced. I'm sure that's exactly right from Brendan Moore. Makes the shot easier if you know exactly that they're put back right. And there's the over adjustment.
One.
That was a much better shot than it looked. Just one positional shot here. And he feels he's grossly overhit that.
8.
I think he was a little bit nervous of leaving himself snookered behind the blue on the last red.
It's certainly the kind of thing that can happen when you're struggling, isn't it? Those sort of difficult things to predict, but you can almost predict them on yourself. This is a very thin cut if he plays the pot. Cue ball coming down the table. I think his frustrations just continue at the moment. It's another tight frame.
One.
Good pot.
As you can see, the shot again, the problem he's got here, I don't know about whether the green is available or not. It certainly is to the middle pocket, but I don't know if he can put it to that top left where the brown is. That's his next concern. Well, the problem that Ding had was the same one that Anthony's just discovered.
8.
Well, one of the snags in playing the escape from the left-hand side cushion is that the yellow might cannon into the green and separate it from the brown and leave it potable.
Well, if he plays it at a certain pace, anything else but that, Clive, if he plays it fairly slow, he could conceivably, if he hits it half ball, get a snooker behind one of those two colours. I know what you mean. He doesn't want to disturb them. I don't think I'd be hitting this over hard. It's kind of the idea. A bit unlucky.
Hamilton, 8.
Nearly got the snooker. Might be in one on his next shot, though. Not quite there. Overhit.
Yes, Ding missed a chance to keep Hamilton under pressure there.
Yes, I can certainly understand why he never went for the pot there. He felt he could get that snooker. Taking a slightly similar pattern to the previous frame, Clive, isn't it? Very tactical. Wouldn't like to say which way it's going to go.
Well, the double kiss always looked on from that type of shot. The question is, can Ding develop the green? Well, he couldn't.
2.
Unless he takes it to middle, but either way, he's got the snooker if he wants it.
Yeah, the snooker's cast iron, isn't it, if he wants it. He kind of played
Junhui
in between shot
2.
there. I suppose you've got to say he was positive in going for the green. I think of a few players that would have certainly gone in behind the brown.
which was a certainty had he played it.
Foul, the miss. Junhui 4. Yeah.
He's given away a few points in this frame, hasn't he, Anthony Hamilton?
Thank you.
Playing a very thin edge here. Well, of course, the fact that he can see it full on means he'll get warmed
Foul,
this time.
miss. Junhui 4.
He won't be playing the same shot, I don't think, because if he misses this time, the frame is over.
Okay, then. Thank you. We'll sit at this time on frame today in counter.
And that was the warning. Oh dear, this really is a poor shot. And the priority is always to get the object ball safe, never mind the snooker. It's an absolute gift he's been given there. That is the worst place
3.
he could have finished. He's finding new ways not to clinch these frames.
Anthony Hamilton 3.
Well, Dig is very relieved with that let off from Hamilton. I'm sure when he left the green, he thought that Hamilton would clear up for 2-1. We haven't quite completed 3 frames and we've been running for 1 hour and 43 minutes.
Well, he doesn't want that. This is the worst outcome, and he's mercifully not got it off. That would have been the end of the frame for sure. Yeah, because I witnessed the longest ever frame, Clive, which, as you remember, was a decider to qualify for the Crucible. Fergal O'Brien and David Gilbert. 2 hours, 1 frame.
I think it was 2 hours 3 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. 2 hours and 3 minutes it was, just the 1 frame.
Well, we aren't quite in that territory, but it is on the slow side.
I think the fact that that frame in particular, that one to qualify for the Crucible, because it was such an important frame, it It's kind of okay, wasn't it? It took so long. It meant so much to both players. Didn't feel like it was 2 hours. It felt a long time, I have to say. But it's a bit like the 85 final. That deciding frame was over an hour, but it was gripping stuff, wasn't it?
Well, I think the last 12 shots of that were the most dramatic sequence of shots I've ever seen, bearing in mind what was at stake.
Yeah. Well, that's not very well played once again. Anthony is struggling on those shots at that kind of range. He needs some help from the pink. I think Ding Junhui has got centre ball striking here. Pink's a bit of a distraction, but it's not actually hampering him that much. He still didn't go for the pot.
Well, he thought it was risky. He thought that if he missed it, he would probably lose the frame. Well, whoever pots the brown should surely win the frame, bearing in mind the position of the other three colours. Well, on screen, that looks possible, but I think from where Hamilton is looking, it looks trickier. And it goes though. So for the second time, Ding misjudged the pace of a safety towards that middle pocket. Intended to leave the object ball on a side cushion, but instead left it too near a pocket. Just blue and pink needed.
Nine.
And not perfectly on the pink. And it goes though.
15. Frame.
The first frame took 27 minutes, the second took 42, that one took 38, and Hamilton leads by 2 frames to 1. Billy Hamilton leads Ding Junhui by 2 frames to 1.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Frame 4. Ding Junhui to break.
It's certainly been a very subdued performance from Ding Junhui so far. You never know with this game. I can remember his coach, Terry Griffiths, telling me once that however you're playing, you can be 15 or 20 minutes away from playing your best. Things can change. One little good sequence of shots and all the confidence can be restored.
Well, there's been very little fluency in Ding's play, and not an awful lot in Hamilton's, although he's made the 2 highest breaks of the contest so far, 46 in the first frame, 54 in the third.
Quite a good shot that, because he was worried about hitting the red on the right on the way back down the table, so he found a path.
Ding's potting hasn't been sharp. He's lacked break building fluency, and also he's made some costly safety mistakes. Twice at the end of the last frame, he doubled the safety virtually over a middle pocket. And Hamilton, at his second opportunity, clinched his 2-1 lead.
Well, I must admit, easy sitting here in the commentary box, but I thought the double kiss looked on there. And usually when you think it's on, it just is on.
One. Blue ball. Six. Seven. Nine.
Struggled in his mind a lot on the positional side of the shot there, and he just made it.
Seventeen. Eighteen.
Now, so far, Ding Junhui has not really found his touch or found the pace of the table. And that might make him feel a bit better. That's a good split, providing he's on one. I have to say, he's been a little unlucky not to have an easier next red here, because he really demolished the bunch there perfectly. He's got to use a touch of side to get through to this one.
24.
Left-hand side.
Not perfectly on the pink.
No, you feel this is quite an important shot, this next one. Well, he's missed a couple of shots into this pocket. This one a touch easier than the ones previously that had gone astray.
31.
The red he'd really like was the one just above the black. That would really open things up for him. We'll try and get on that one sooner rather than later, I should think.
$33. $34.
Well, this is kind of first real sign of him finding his form a little, just getting going. Very good player in around the pink and black, lovely touch. A wonderful break builder. When it's all coming together,
40.
extremely formidable force.
$41. $47. $48. $55. $56. $61. $62.
And the applause means it's enough to win the frame, potting that red. I suppose you could argue that in the back of his mind he's pretty sure he could have been 3-0 down. The second frame, the one that he
68.
did win up until now, was all those missed shots on the colours and on the black itself. So
69.
if he could get to 2-2, which he's going to do, he surely feels as if that's a real bonus, the way that he's played. Slightly against the run of play.
Well, Hamilton
76.
knows that this frame has gone.
77.
Well, that's not been plain
84.
sailing. A couple of times had to go up to the yellow in this break.
Junhui 84.
He's not too bothered about missing the century. The 84 break was enough for him to level the match at 2-all. Play, and in the last frame we saw Ding start to run into some form and touch with that break of 84. Nice venue this, the Ricoh Arena, and I'm absolutely confident that it'll be full for Sunday's final. A few members of the audience taking the opportunity to stretch their legs because there have been some long drawn out frames.
Yeah, this is a really good venue, isn't it? Especially when it is full. Tremendous atmosphere in here over for previous years we've played this tournament.
Thank you. Frame 5. Anthony Hamilton to break.
Well, it's certainly all to play for this match, isn't it? But you do feel that the thing looking like he's settling in now at last. The swing is with him. Well, we start with, it's all square at 2-2, but you just feel that he might be getting stronger. But still he misses, and there's no guarantees of safety there. The pot was difficult also.
I think of the two, Ding is a little bit more inclined to go for it. Hamilton's an excellent break builder, but he weighs up his percentages very carefully. The match has been going 2 hours, which is an average of half an hour a frame.
1.
Try to come around that black to take it into the same pocket.
Yellow ball. Brown ball. Anthony Hamilton 1.
The red behind the black spot is potable, but the cue ball has to travel quite a distance for position on a colour.
Anthony Hamilton 1.
Bad miss that, even trying to force round.
Well, he's got to cut to the middle. It's not an easy shot. Certainly get onto a colour from. A lot of guesswork involved in that. We've had 3 single reds potted so far in this frame. If he plays the blue, he's going to do very well to get onto anything else, so that's why he's refusing it. Might try and get him behind the blue here.
Ding Junhui 1.
That's okay, yellow's covering them.
Just to remind you, there is the second match in this afternoon session, Ryan Day versus Barry Hawkins. And the winner of that match and the winner of this match will contest the group final with the semi-final place at stake this evening.
Oh, this looks horribly short of pace, doesn't it?
Foul on this. Junhui 4.
Just the odd yard.
Almost a complete miss hit.
Yep, thank you.
Doesn't look a very difficult shot to escape, actually. A very big target. Unusual to see a player misjudge the pace in the way that Anthony did on the previous shot. Oh, this doesn't look much better. Tables are quick, but not
Foul
that quick.
on this. Junhui 4.
That one seemed to drop down a little bit from the cushion. He's playing this very tentatively.
Well, the pack is pretty tightly bunched. It's not as if he's got a roll absolutely dead weight.
No, I must say those two shots are out of character.
Again, Ding hopes to extract a mistake from Hamilton. But the pack is still pretty tightly bunched.
Well, I think the red goes. That was a mistake.
1.
Well, it was. Hamilton played the escape exactly as he intended and didn't realise that red was on.
Eight. 9.
He's not really got a very good shot to break the bunch open. I think there's a red that goes to the right middle. You would looked at the angle on it. It's the only thing he can pot.
$16. $70.
You know, the question is, does he have the angle to go into the bunch? I think he's a little straight, actually. He would prefer the cue ball further down than this. He's already sized up possible plant to the right corner. And that's all he's got. Once again, picking these reds off one by one.
24.
If this goes in, he should develop one or two of the other reds as well here. Potentially a frame winner, that, had it gone in.
Now, what sort of starter has Hamilton got, if any?
Well, it's a bit early, I guess, to say the match is slipping away from Anthony Hamilton, but I'm starting to get that vibe.
One.
And if he does lose, well, you certainly couldn't say that he's not had chances, because just for every frame he's had an opportunity. The last frame was any time when Ding Junhui won it in one visit. All other frames have been fairly evenly contested. Oh, that's not a good kiss. He didn't play it perfectly. Awkward
6.
little shot over the top of the green.
Seven.
It's not getting any easier, this break. Yellow is covering the blue to the bottom. So it's a little thin cut back in if you place the blue.
Blue ball.
Very thin, this.
Ding Junhui, 7.
So, chance for Hamilton coming to the table, 38 behind.
One.
Couldn't really ask for a better chance than this. All remaining reds in open potable positions. Pink and black available, and the blue. Can he summon up the fluency to make
8.
a frame-winning break?
Nine.
Whew.
16. Seventeen.
He's really got hold of that. Goodness, to finish where he has. He's almost timed it too
24.
well. And while he's got a pot, that could hardly have gone in a worse place in that area of the table. Any further back to the right, he's on a choice of reds.
And he had a huge margin of error, really. Still going though.
Yes, he's got that similar margin of error either side of the table. If he can get somewhere below the pink. It's just about okay. Nearly over hit again.
28. $29.
Well, whichever way he goes here, he will need the brown, and that's going to be the one possible stumbling block.
35.
Just trying to work it all out now, but that is the one issue that he's going to have in clearing up.
$36. $42.
I'm not sure there's any way around this other than just land on the brown at the end of the frame and just roll it in. I don't think it's an easy shot to play the cannon. He might have a shot when he does get to the green to do so.
$43.
Could conceivably play a cannon from yellow to brown
48.
and leave himself on the green.
Of course, the problem with that shot, Clive, is if it goes wrong, he might not even get on the next ball. Might overshoot for the green. I know what you're saying, it's an option. I think the angle's a little bit straight here.
Well, all that is invalidated by missing the yellow, but
Anthony Hamilton, 48.
from the speed of the shot, it appears he did play the cannon on the brown. As it is, he's thankful that the yellow has run safe.
Yeah, this is another frame that he should have already wrapped up. I know that the brown was always going to be an issue. But really, from the last red, I didn't think he'd missed the yellow. I thought the problem would come later on. Always got to have something touching the floor on a shot like that. Can't just climb on the table.
Hamilton 10 in front as this safety duel continues. Well, went for the pot.
Yes, and got so close to it, Clive, that the ball never even went away from the pocket, even at fairly good speed. Oh, well, that's not a difficult shot. It's a natural to come up the table. To hit it thick, he's unlikely. And he was disgusted with that. Now he's really struggling. There's no getting away from it. And that's a kind of reflection of how he's been playing. He's had one or two issues. He had conjunctivitis, I know, last week prior to his match in Daxing. He lost to Oliver Lyons there. Decent young player, but Ding would have been a warm favourite.
Two.
Amazing, isn't it, how that happens? Brown ball frame, you'd say, at this stage. Well, it's got a nice shape on it, this one, but I think
Anthony Hamilton, 2.
not quite hit hard enough to go behind the black.
I think Ding tried to nudge the brown out.
Well, he certainly didn't try and nudge the black onto the cushion. That is certainly against his chances of winning, because whichever way you look at it, he will need the lot. Now, if it is a snooker, he really has to hit it, because obviously Ding, with the 4 points more to his name, will not need the black in clearing up.
Achieve the desired result, hitting the green from behind rather than on the way up. safety to tuck the green under the side cushion. Well, that's improved the position of the brown.
I'm sure he played the double kiss. It's not too bad if he did. Ding's got a chance here. I think what he will try and do, surely, would be to bring the black into play somehow. Whatever shot he plays. Yeah, that's the aim. Good shot. That's improved his hopes of winning now.
Tense conclusion then to the frame which decides who goes one up with two to play. Hamilton was well aware there that he was sending the black towards the side cushion. Although Ding has been struggling, his average shot time is still only 20 seconds, which is quite acceptable. Hamilton's average shot time 31 seconds. That is his natural pace. Thought long and hard, but the end product was a good one. No point in attempting the green because he couldn't leave himself a good shot at the brown. those young lads on a school trip, I'm pretty certain. Better than double maths, that's for sure. Still the grim, tense, tactical struggle continues.
Just wonder if he'll try and chip the blue out into the middle of the table here from the green. Taking the no risks though. Now this is a half a chance. He pots this, he's coming somewhere in the region of the brown. Hard to say he'd finish on it. Giving him a hope. But as we've seen already, shots like this, and he missed one earlier on into the opposite bottom left pocket. Not easy, it could rattle in the jaw. He's got to give every chance by playing it fairly slowly.
Frame ball, barring a snooker.
Well, it was pretty close. He's pulling his hand up. But I feel a little unlucky it never dropped in. Okay, he's not left it, but I think Ding will be relieved just to be at the table with a chance of winning the frame still. But there have been a number of frame balls missed from Hamilton in this match, especially that very tense frame earlier, frame 3.
It can be very difficult to get the significance of the shot, a frame ball shot, out of your mind. It seems to make the shot more difficult than it intrinsically is.
Yes, it was actually frame 2, that long drawn out black ball finish, wasn't it? He's gone for getting the black into play. It's risky, very risky, and there's an argument that his coach wouldn't have played that shot. I think Terry Griffiths, he lost control briefly of where the brown would end up. The idea was to push the black into the middle of the table. He may go cushion first. It's a little straight, and there's always a chance he could run the cue ball through as well, but not off the cushion.
So, barring a snooker, a successful snooker, Hamilton is going to be 3-2 up. This is the third frame that we've had, which has been of more than half an hour's duration.
Anthony Hamilton 4.
And of course, you've got to carry on just the one snooker, but I don't think the pink and black are all that well placed for getting them.
Yes, if there's no realistic chance of laying a snooker, the objective is to leave the object ball safe and hope for a better chance.
And if Hamilton wins his frame, which now of course seems likely, and it's the roles reversed, Ding should have won it really. He was in first with a good chance, didn't take it. Well, it's a snooker. You feel that he will hit it. There's room to go around the back. Seems to be the kind of shot that you'd see played around 2 cushions. If he can get through to it. Maybe a little bit closer to the pink than it first looked. No. Possible to go around the back of this. Well played. Kept cool there.
Five.
I don't know what he played there. That's not a good shot. If he played to pot the blue, you'd thought he'd have finished anywhere but where he has to get a snooker now. It was a strange one.
Ding Junhui 5.
Well, all eggs in one basket with only one snookering ball remaining.
Yeah, usually in or over the pocket would be what a player would try. Quite a long way away from this one though to play it slowly. I can see why he wouldn't want to do that there. But like you say, Ding's going to have to get the snooker quickly, because if he doesn't get it, then the frame will be over. Hamilton will drop it in or over the pocket.
The first frame took 27 minutes, Hamilton won it. The second frame took 42, Ding won it. 38-minute frame put Hamilton 2-1 ahead. Then we saw the only real fluency that we've seen from Ding this afternoon, an 84 break. A 10-minute frame brought the scores level at 2-all. But this fifth frame has been going 37 minutes, and it looks a pound to a gooseberry that Hamilton is going to regain the lead at 3-2.
Six in the frame. Anthony Hamilton.
2 hours 37 minutes of hard graft. Anthony Hamilton is 1 up with 2 to play. He leads 3-2.
Ding Junhui to break.
In a match like this, you generally expect something like a 90% pot success rate. But in fact, both players are stuck on 82%, 78 from 95 attempts. There's been a lot of safety, a lot of balls missed. Fairly cautious policy, particularly on the part of Hamilton, and that's why this match has already been running 2 hours 37 minutes. Still, the time goes quickly if you're enjoying yourself. One thought which strikes me is that the winner of the second match, which comes on immediately after this one finishes, isn't going to have much rest before he has to play his next match at 7 o'clock. Well, there was distance involved and also uncertainty in his mind because he didn't know where the cue ball was going in terms of finishing on a colour.
One. Eight.
Wow. That was
Junhui.
pretty easy, very easy, in fact. Didn't get all that close to it. That is very surprising.
Yeah, missing easy shots is frequently more serious than missing hard ones. Doesn't do your state of mind any good either.
One.
Well, if he can cue the blue and he can get into the bunch, it gives him a great opportunity. If he was to get a bit of good fortune, he might be in with a great chance here. This feels a big shot in the context of the match, this one. Played it as positively as you could hope.
Six.
He doesn't want to overthink this. He just keep things simple, keep chipping away. And get yourself close to the winning line, or over it, in fact.
Seven.
It's out of Ding Junhui's hands right now, this match. He's got to sit and hope.
Ding will be very disappointed with how he's played. He'll certainly be hoping to
12.
play a lot better
The red.
next week in the Shanghai Masters. Not that this match has gone yet.
$13. 18. $90.
Just wonder if he can avoid a cannon here. He might have to play into the red above the black, but he would really like to land in behind something. I think he was forced into playing the cannon in the end, but he's played it really well. Probably goes up for the blue here, but if he gets in behind the blue
26.
from this next shot, I know he's under pressure, but you really feel that he's getting very close to winning the match, even though he's only a few in front. 6 very inviting reds in the middle of the table. If he took them all, he'd be a long way clear. Not quite as he played. The brown away from its spot is handy. The up and down through bulk is not a problem. The tables are quick and he mustn't overhit. So he's just one shot away, you feel, all the time from just making this break. Very precise one, which could go easily. Everything might just fall into place if he gets position.
$32.
Well, he's on the middle red, which is the one just about on the pink spot, right down the centre of the table. There it is.
$33.
Well, now he's got them in that desired place. All these balls are really there for the taking. And he's been struggling all season to recapture the form that won him that German Masters title back in
40.
February. There are signs that he's not been playing that badly.
$41.
Well, okay, not absolutely
48.
perfect.
No, he could have gone quite a bit further and had a choice of 3 reds. But he's still all right. Heading up the table for the blue, probably. Held it a fraction too
49.
well. He might look at the pink now. Either way, he's still in command.
$55.
Not far to go now.
$56.
Well, this time he can drop this in. That's all he can manage. We got a great view of it going all around the pocket, that's for sure.
61.
A red pink will be enough. But this is a stretch.
$62.
Well, this is match ball, barring snookers. The red after it would secure it. All attention on this shot, though. I think he's held himself together very well. I was starting to think during the previous frame that it was letting things slip.
68.
But I think he's fed off the fact that Ding's missed a couple and he's taken these nicely.
I think that's all the extra
69.
insurance he's likely to need. That extra red.
Yes, I'm delighted for Anthony. As I say, very well respected and liked guy on the tour. He's a champion now and worthy of his place in the champion of champions.
74. $75.
Twice he got the odd frame in front, twice Ding equalised. But when he got the frame in front for a third time,
Hamilton,
he
75.
made no mistake
Frame on the
and
match.
clinched the match with a break of 75. Anthony Hamilton beats Ding Junhui by 4 frames to 2 and goes through to tonight's group final.